In this day and age, external storage has seen a substantial increase in both speeds and capacity. In this video we take a look at the crucial X8 external SSD, and we have the 1TB version. This SSD is marketed as not only being reliable but also being ideal for the outdoors, as in being dropped and surviving. The X8 is a standard NvMe SSD, or so they say. I say this because it is impossible to remove the outer shell to reveal what's actually inside. And trust me, I gave my best to take it apart, barely scratching it. Also, in the process of filming and taking the photos for this review, I dropped the SSD on some rocks and, well, nothing really happened. Just a mild scratch, but the drive still works just fine. In terms of accessories, there is little to say. We get a short USB Type-C cable and a USB 3.0 to USB Type-C adapter and a user manual, and that's that. The performance is rather good. This SSD is delivering on its promise, and while it does not get the constant speed advertised of 1050 megabits per second, it still manages to do 950 megabytes per second consistently, while not even getting that warm. The main bottleneck for this speed will be the usage of this SSD through a USB 3.0 port, or if you use the included Type-C cable, then you can expect something close to the advertised speeds. But if you introduce an USB 3.0 adapter, then the speeds will drop to around 400 megabytes. It is not the fault of the adapter itself, it is just the limitation of the USB 3.0 header and the system in general. To give you a better example of how the X8 compares to other storage devices, here is a graph where the X8 SSD is faster than a regular SATA powered SSD that sits inside your gaming PC. Not only that, but it is completely ahead of a standard internal hard drive such as the Western Digital 1TB Blue Edition, and the X8 is still, after all, an external SSD which is not using a direct connection to your PC, it is using a cable and an internal adapter. The design of the X8 SSD is in a way different, as it uses a smaller than average enclosure which is made from aluminum with a soft plastic coating covering both sides. This enclosure is not really that slippery and can be held safely even with gloves. I am mentioning this as there are a lot of external storage units available right now that are ridiculously hard to keep in one hand safely, especially if you are wearing gloves, so this, being a rugged type SSD, is a great thing to have. The reason for using an USB Type-C cable and a single USB Type-C port is first of all for the increased speeds, but also because a lot of newer notebooks and smartphones only have a single port for data transferring, and that happens to be the USB Type-C port. Also, the USB Type-C port is being heavily implemented in digital cameras, so you can record directly to this SSD with the newer digital cameras. The crucial X8 has a price of around $160 for the 1TB version featured in this review, and around $100 for the 500GB model. Not a bad price considering that you are getting a Micron-made NvMe SSD, which is protected by a fully metallic enclosure that can withstand plenty of things while outdoors. While this SSD will not hit the advertised speed, it is very close to it, and fortunately it is consistent throughout all the tests and benchmarks. Would I recommend this SSD to you? Well, yes I will. In fact, it has become my new mass storage device for traveling and outdoor filming, as it is small, lightweight, and has the proven reliability of Micron and Crucial products, especially when it comes to storage. If you like this review, then perhaps you can consider subscribing for more, and if you want to support this channel directly, in the description below you will find both the links for the Patreon and Subscriber Star pages.